Hi everyone, welcome to Honey Drops Tarot. This is a reading for the sign of Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. Sagittarius, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for all of your likes, shares, and subscribes. I truly appreciate it. Just a quick note, please do not fall for any scammers. I will never reach out to solicit for a private reading. I do offer private readings, and if you're interested in signing up for one of those or in making a donation, the information regarding that can be found in the About section of my YouTube page, and I thank you so much in advance. Sagittarius, I hope that you're doing well. I decided to do this reading about chapters closing and new chapters opening for you. So I just wanted to show you the crystal that I have on my desk for your reading today. It's a ocean jasper tower, and it's for flow energy, for flow. So if you are kind of transitioning from one major period of your life to another, thank you Spirit, I wish that you have the best for your best and highest good and many blessings, and that it is flowing and easy. I'm going to be using the Oracle of the Universe for your overall energy, as well as your base spread by Stacey DeMarco, and the Muse Tarot for your tarot portion of the reading. So cards have been pre-shuffled. Can I get 5 cards for Sagittarius, please? 5 cards for Sagittarius, please, Spirit. Okay. One more. Thank you. Okay, so 5 cards are down. Now I'm going to pull the tarot for your clarifying cards. Okay. One flipped over in the deck. And you got one extra. Oh, wow. Devil snuck right in there. We'll get to that in a second. Your overall energy, number 34, which is a 7, reduces to a 7, which is the Chariot card in the Major Arcana, the Omega Nebula, and the word is Limitless. This came out for another sign. I want to say it was Leo, but I'm not 100% sure. Limitless. The Chariot card talks about victory, and it talks about a mastery over the light and the dark. That once we've understood that our shadow aspects are just as important as our light, that it's almost as if we become unstoppable, right? Because if you understand, thank you, Spirit, if you understand the devil aspects of you, and we all have them, the shadow aspects, the codependencies, the addictions, the need, the desire, the things that overwhelm us and keep us trapped. If we understand that we deal with these things, we have these things as part of who we are, then we can keep them in check, right? Life is to be lived, sure, but there's such a thing as excess. And as I did that, I had a tarot deck on the ground, and I just literally kicked it all over. The cards kind of spilled everywhere. Maybe that's what you're feeling right now, that you want to turn up some tables, you want to just throw caution to the wind, you want to just say, F it, I'm done. Whatever this is for you, Sagittarius, I do want to say there's a little too much fire happening right now. And that Spirit showing me the word moderation. Moderation. Devil can also describe Capricorn energy, so you may be dealing with a Capricorn. Take it as it resonates. Pretty intense. No one else got the devil card quite like that. I don't think anybody else got the devil card at all, did they? about that. But, you know, this kind of harkens back to the Year of the Dragon readings that I did before a few weeks ago, where the warning, caveat, caution, word of caution from Spirit, as this is the Year of the Dragon and it represents abundance, limitlessness, that can also work against you if you're not careful. That abundance can come in all forms, not just the positive ones that we would like to think about, right? Like abundance of wealth, abundance of health, abundance of, you know, all things positive. It can also be an abundance of things that may be a little questionable. So we have to moderate ourselves. We have to follow a path that is right for us, that is healthy. So that Devil card is here to remind you, right? There's something about the fact, this is a very unique Devil card, and there's something about the fact that she has these beautiful butterfly wings, and the devil often comes, what's that expression? The devil in sheep's clothing. Something that seems so soft and brittle and fragile as anything but. So, what a way to start your reading, Sagittarius. You know, these could be energies that this is precisely what you're trying to close out at this time. In the past energy, the number 32, the Crux constellation, the Southern Cross, and the word is signal. Signal. Ooh, this really prominently came up in the Leo reading as kind of like a sky event. There's something about the way that they have the kind of paint on them. I mean, is it war paint? Or is it ritual? Is it, you know, sacred, religious, spiritual? Is it, it's like there's something on having to do with how you represent yourself right now that is itself the signal, or rather in your past energy. So it's almost like you were emitting something with your aura in the past energy that people were really finding themselves fixated with. The 32 reduces to a 5, which is the Hierophant energy. It could be maybe people were turning to you as a kind of expert or guru, or somebody who had words of wisdom. There's something about your energy, your aura, your appearance that is significant. Just take it as it resonates. It's like maybe somebody made a comment about it, about your demeanor. I mean, it could be somebody saying, you seem kind of off, are you okay? Or they're just really drawn to your powerful energy. There's something about your appearance or the energy that you're emitting that feels really relevant right now in this card. So different from the last time this card came up. It's a completely different message. It's clarified by the Hanged Muse or the Hanged Man in the reverse. This is the card in the upright. When this is Major Arcana, Pisces, and Virgo energy, and it represents somebody who has made a sacrifice, who has put themselves in the tree of knowledge to gain wisdom and perspective. to step away from a situation, right? Like when we're too close to a situation, we can almost be completely shielded or blinded, or the view is very distorted when you're super, super close. And so this is you voluntarily saying, I'm going to step out of the situation now in order to make a more informed decision, be a little bit more objective, especially if with this energy I was saying people were drawn to you. Maybe you had to step away from something because I've actually experienced this. I'm a Sagittarius rising, so that part of me comes out often, but people sometimes come to me for advice and I go to others for advice. But it gets to the point sometimes with certain people where I have to cut them off, because people can become a little too reliant, and it causes them to disconnect from their own intuition. They like second guess and triple guess and quadruple guess themselves. And so now if I find that someone is doing that with me, I'll still be there for them, but I'm just bouncing back their question. So instead of giving them an answer, I think you should do X, Y, and Z, I'll say, oh, wow, that seems like a really intense situation. What do you think you should do? Talk it through, right? So that it allows them to come to their own conclusions about something. But the signal word, it's like you are like this light in the darkness to other people. And I feel as though maybe the intensity of it became too much. Maybe other people were feeling a little codependent on you. Can you clarify the signal card, please, Spirit? Thank you. Two of emotions in reverse. It's exactly two of emotions, two of cups in the reverse. This is the card in the upright. Two of emotions in reverse. Divine partnership, or a connection to the divine aspect of yourself, you and your higher self, you and your soul aspects. The card is in reverse. It's like there's a disconnect, right? So it's kind of reaffirming what I was just saying, that if we start asking for too much guidance and too much advice from other people, we start to lose the connection with ourselves, with our higher aspects and our intuition. So that's just confirming that for me. That could be describing you, but I don't actually think it is. I think you are like this beautiful mirror that people look into to see a little sliver of themselves. But that relationship can be like, they're showing me the mirror in Harry Potter. The mirror, this came up in an earlier reading too. The mirror of Erised, which I guess is desire in the reverse. Desire backwards is Erised, where Harry Potter would look into the mirror and see the image of his passed away parents, and that he'd want to just, keep going back to that mirror so he could feel what he perceived to be their love. But it was very illusory. It was an illusion. And Dumbledore had to warn him to not become too addicted to the illusion, and that it was important to just live your life. that could resonate with you. In the present energy, the number 11 card, which is the Justice card in the Major Arcana, Aquarius constellation, awe and ecstasy. Awe and ecstasy. Maybe now that you're kind of taking a distanced approach, you could be focusing a little bit more on yourself at this time. What is it that you need guidance with? What direction do you want to move into? What are your hopes, dreams, and aspirations? What causes you to pause? It's crazy that this, I mean, it seems like it's like rain bubbles or like underneath the water, but it reminds me of the code in the Matrix. So that movie could have relevance for you. You know, that movie is so prevalent in as an example that a spiritual community uses. Like, we're all living in the Matrix. We're all living in this space of illusion, that we have to return to the real, right? But we create our world, and if we're really encapsulating that, we're really inhabiting that thought that we are responsible for creating the world around us, then this question would find you asking yourself, what is it that causes me to pause in delight and wonder and that sense of awe and ecstasy? What is it that motivates me to find this passion, zest, and zeal for life unlike anything else, right? The Fool card represented, not represented, it is clarifying this card, but it is represented in the reverse. That's what I was going to say. This is the Fool card in the upright, somebody who has that faith in spirit and faith in themselves, that they can traverse the great beyond, they can move mountains, they can do anything they want if they had the tenacity, the faith, and the belief that they could. This card is in the reverse, so it's almost like saying to me, like, you are really trying to reconcile this in the present moment, that cognitively, you know that you have this level of power to create and manifest your world. But like emotionally, you're still doubting it, which I completely understand. Manifestation is actually difficult for me because it's almost like I'm afraid I'm going to get what I want. So I put a lot of trust in spirit, sure, but I'm always, you know, is this the right thing? Is this the right move? Am I doing the right thing? And even I have to say, you know, just live your life. Just stop obsessing over it, because the more you obsess, the more you worry, things will not come in for you. So I think that you're in this process of discovery, trying to find, you know, instead of going after what we've been taught to be in awe of. Like, what have we all been taught to be in awe of? Something like an exorbitant amount of money, or celebrity, status, power, things like that. We've been taught by society to value those things. But for you, Sagittarius, the thing that could put you in a state of awe could be a little flower growing up out of the crack in the sidewalk. It's different for everyone. Why is the Fool card in reverse, Spirit? Why is the Fool card in reverse for Sagittarius? 2 cards came out. The Star card in reverse and the 8 of Materials, or the 8 of Pentacles in reverse. Sorry, the Star card in the upright. Did I say reverse? I meant the upright. This is beautiful. This is wish fulfillment and healing. It's funny because sometimes the Star card represents fame and celebrity. It is, however, coupled with the 8 of Pentacles in the reverse. The 8 of Pentacles in the upright, 8 of Materials, talks about diligence, hard work, focus into, it's like, where do you spend the majority of your time, focus and energy? What do you focus on the most? There's nothing wrong with being famous as long as you keep your wits about you. Keep it in check. This is a beautiful energy, though. I don't want to say that that's all that that's about. It is about wish fulfillment. So, really, I mean, even the way that she's got her hands together, it's a little bit of a protective energy, but it's also just like a hope. And we're transmitting that out to Spirit. But are we working on it? Are we focusing on it? Are we taking a step towards it so that it can take 10 steps towards us? I think the takeaway from the present energy is figuring out what it is that motivates you to get up in the morning. What is it that fuels your heart space? Spirit just said coming back to a sense of self, right? Because you may have lost that recently. In the future potential, number 8, the Scorpius constellation, retribution. This came out for Aries as well, but came out as their overall energy. In the future energy, retribution, it's kind of talking about the consequences of things, the outcome of our decision making and our actions. And if those were less than stellar, if those were less than ideal, that we kind of are, I just heard come to the river conversations. Like, it does feel like you and Spirit having a heart-to-heart. I just felt this wave of resentment come over me. Almost bitterness. What is that, Sagittarius? 8 of Voices in reverse. 8 of Swords. This card would normally talk about being trapped in the space of our own anxiety, analysis paralysis. When the card is in reverse, it's kind of like, can we free ourselves now from being trapped in this energy where we're overthinking an issue? I'm gonna ask for a clarifier on the retribution card. 6 of Emotions in the reverse. Something from your past? Something from the deep past, like a childhood past. Is somebody being called to answer for something that they did in childhood, that they experienced in childhood, that they inflicted upon another person in childhood? something that kept you or a part of you locked away. That's pretty striking. You know what it reminds me of? It actually reminds me of a scene out of The Matrix when they're behind the wet wall. They're in like the wall behind the concrete, and they're like in the piping system and trying to hide, right? There's two ways to look at a card like this. Are you trapped, or are you trying to hide? And are you trying to lift yourself out of that? This is the future energy. There's something you're going to look at from your deep past that, I don't know, it could be a family thing that you are going to, I keep getting like pretty, it's not the best energy, I gotta tell you, Sagittarius. It's like somebody getting their just desserts. I don't really know the origin of that saying, but when somebody gets their just desserts, it's kind of like get what you deserve. So it's a little retaliatory. I just want to give you a word of advice that is coming into my brain right now, which is, you know, we all come to this life with a certain level of karma, and it's like being in the negative on your spiritual debit card, right? We want to get to the place where we're in the green, not the red. And Spirit is just saying, don't add to the red. Don't add to the karmic debt, the karmic load. It is not our place to wish retribution on anyone. Like, it's not our place to make that judgment. It is our place to heal and learn from the past, and so that we are doomed not to repeat it. Here's advice from Spirit, number 24, which is the 6, the Lover's card, Gemini energy in the Major Arcana. Aquila constellation, power. Power. This could be something that you feel as though you may be fighting for, right? There's this lightning bolt in his hand. He's holding a lightning bolt and kind of standing up against, thank you, Spirit, this creature, this huge eagle, right? This gigantic eagle. Usually the eagle, at least in the United States, it truly does represent power. It represents prestige, legacy, history. But here, it's almost like you're battling that history. Kind of like this energy, looking at your past and battling it. So if we're talking about, you know, this whole reading is about shifting from one chapter of our lives into another chapter. This is what you could be going through at this time, having to make really tough decisions about how you are going to redefine your life. The Death card in the reverse, Scorpio energy. The Death card is all about death and rebirth. It's the phoenix rising from the ashes. Right? But it's almost like this is not a phoenix, it's like an eagle. But if you're trying to rise out of the ashes all brand new, It's almost like I see you fighting against yourself. And this is advice from Spirit. It's like perhaps to look at the situations where you are not allowing this rebirth to happen. Like when I said in the beginning of the reading that I set the intention with this crystal for this reading that the transition from the chapters for you will be easy. I don't feel like you're making it easy for yourself in any way. I feel as though whatever chapter you're moving from, you're going kicking and screaming. And I should have just like, you know, the minute that I saw this, it's like, okay. It's, thank you, Spirit. Right? I hear the sirens coming. It's like emergency, emergency. This is really important. How can you get a card like this that says Limitless on it and be trapped and bound by the devil at the same time? This is all within our own, the space of our own mind. And it could be a really personal battle that you're dealing with because other people are seeing you as this light. The light and the darkness. They're all, that could be it too. Maybe you're everyone else's light, but you just feel like darkness. Maybe the point is not that we are trying to eliminate the darkness, but rather to make peace with it. That's your reading, Sagittarius. I hope that some of that made sense. I hope it did, at least for one person. If it did, please like, share, subscribe, comment down below. Please hit the bell notification to be updated as to when I post new readings. Thank you, Sag.